welcome back. We're here to do your update for November 2022. Yes, we do have a mid-month this month, and I do have a new deck, and we will be pulling from this tarot deck. So from here on in, if I do get a new tarot deck, I will place it on the screen so that if you're wanting to get it, you can grab it. Now, yes, we will have a Mars in Gemini retrograde. It won't go direct till 2023. And it will remain there for a little bit longer. So this is really going to impact your star signs. So stay tuned for such. It will come up in a blog post as well as be on Premiere. So without further ado, we're going to get into your psychic channel messages. Now, I do see particularly for you guys moving into the month of November, especially with the eclipse we just moved out of, moving towards this next one. There could have been for a lot of you directly around eclipses will tend to feel more foggy. I'll be perfectly honest with you. You can have agitation, nervousness, and I'm noticing through the orange chakra card, and it could potentially be an overactive sacral chakra, which can cause anger, frustration, panic, so to speak. It's quite natural, but it also could be overindulgence. It could be sluggish. You do have the pleasure card coming up, and it is the sacral chakra. There could be nervousness towards your beauty, your wellness, how you look, your image. Anger towards projection. Projection also is possible. I did notice that the crystal that you did have coming up was in reverse. So it may be that you're feeling vulnerable, unprotected, and stripped down. Now, I did forget to bring the feather in. I'll try and remember for the next reading. Number one is for the month of November, I did get feather totem, and I did get quite a few of them. They were screaming at me when I was tuning into the collective consciousness. Various colors came through, but the overall arching energy was death and rebirth. And of course, any rebirth is very nervous, especially for you guys being that your sun, you like to know where you're going. There can feel almost like you're not protected. And am I going to be safe? It can be a home and a family related dynamic because the moon directly was involved. But it's also your inner child. So the other chakra, I will say, maybe that you need to pay attention to will be the lower chakras, okay, which is all coming down to your base root value, feeling grounded, feeling safe, fight and flight, solar plexus and sacral chakra. So a lot of the inner child frequency can be coming up for you, and particularly it can be a time that you are feeling, okay, am I safe? How do I use my power? Do I need to create healthy boundaries? Can I express how I feel? Or it could be that that energy was particularly overzealous. Now, you do have the jet crystal, okay? Now, anything that is darker nature, which did come through on the feather totem, was that A, we are going through a rebirth, B, your guides on the other side are directly protecting you, and to please try and trust the process. Obviously, if something is risky, yes, we remove ourselves from such, but overall, in general, there is this feeling to do with safety and protection. And I do see for you, some of you are feeling maybe judged, maybe misunderstood. Again, I do feel it could have been a little bit purgatory, and that Scorpio eclipse moving into the month of November now, you still could be reveling in that frequency. I would say moving into eclipses, moving out, we do go through this surge of change. And I do feel that energy is going to linger through the month of October, but we can get these rebirths if we trust the process and we dive into those areas that are causing tension. I also feel you're ready to have the best of the best of the best. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. This can be in money, values, people appreciating you, being in alignment. The romance card that came up for you, acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times, we must accept things as they are. There is no point trying to change that of what is beyond our control. Now, what I do feel is circular concern energy. It's not that something isn't going to change, because it definitely is, especially with the next eclipse coming. It's more so our attention to detail and our attention to what we need to address is going to be the key. And especially from an emotional point of view, it's going to keep you more grounded and feeling safe to be your authentic self, to walk your truth and to do the things that you need to do. So I don't necessarily feel it is to do with a person as per se. Yes, it can be, but not in the way particularly you could have taken it, which is somebody's never going to change. It feels more allow universe to shift that, but also shift the attention onto what is directly in your control. I do feel if there is something that you're not feeling safe with, there is an adjustment in general in your life that you're going to be going through. Now, your general card you got coming through could be, for some of you, you felt that you went in where angels fed to tread, but I do feel forward momentum. Almost this frustration, you've got the Chariot card, which I'm not feeling as a negative thing. I do feel things could be picking up very fast, and especially because you are sun and nature. During the eclipse, things are cloudy. It's like, oh my gosh, where are we going? Is it going to be okay? You particularly may have been feeling, am I going the right direction? There's too much popping off. Oh my gosh, what do I deal with first? I do feel overall, especially because a lot of us can feel tired and really have irritability with sleep due to the eclipses and Mars retrograde. I do feel that there is very fast-paced movement for you guys, and you may need to think on your feet. This also could be very benefiting things of making direct choices to move in a direction or another. I do feel in your love life, there is this notion at the moment, the courage to be disliked. And I do feel particularly there can be major changes and balancing out happening. There could be this need to be vulnerable. There could be a lot of chemistry between you and another individual. There also with other people in your life, maybe they were exes, can be with the sacral chakra. This reflection back, and the reflection back can be to nicer days. It can be to the empath energy. If you went to extremes and you were feeling frustrated, it's shifting yet back again where it's showing you another person's point of view. I'm really interested in the fact that your reading came through with 2 tarot energies for your romance house. Now, yes, I am channeling them, but it did feel this pressure point where, again, with the Chariot card, you've got a lot happening. You're going to be very busy putting out one fire, dealing with another. Now, does that have to be a bad thing? No. It could be you're moving towards your passions. You're moving towards directions that you feel are divinely guided for you. I do feel ultimately some of you could feel a little bit disillusioned. Some of you could feel lied to. Some lies could be told about you in the area of love, and you feel this defense mechanism coming up. It also can be if the shoe has been on the other foot. You do have the 7 of Swords coming through. I feel overall, especially if you are in a catch-22 situation, almost like, do I go left, do I go right? I feel ultimately you're going to make a decision, but no decision is also a decision. This particularly could be that you have 2 options for some of you, or 2 ways this can turn out. I'm also hearing second chance round. So it could be returning to an ex, giving something a shot, concerned about, how something will be, or you're fearing that a new circumstance you're dealing with, be it's with an old person, is going to turn out like something happened in the past. I feel you're considering a lot of people, though, in the mix. And I do feel if you have been making choices based on other people, this could be your children, it might be your family members, it might be friendship groups. I feel 2's company, 3's a crowd, right? So I'm feeling it's you looking into this circumstance and you're kind of like, but they feel this, they feel that. Yes, 100% unpack that, but also go to your bliss and live your truth, because then we are matching and mirroring those energies and we are being dishonest to our own truth. We can't make everyone happy, unfortunately. And sometimes it does mean actually choosing the most authentic path and standing in your truth. Doesn't mean you have to have a conversation with those people. For some, yes, it may be that you need to stand in your truth. It could be that you're saying, okay, the reasons why XYZ happened is XYZ. Very separately, it can be that you just need to live your truth and move forward. I do feel these choices can be a little bit tricky, but I do feel ultimately you will pick something that is correct for you. For some of you, you do have 2 paths, 2 people, but yet again, you're going to know what is correct for you. Now, there appears to be a level of frustration relating to your career. Things, again, especially depending on the career sector you're in, if you want me to channel these energies more particular to you, especially relating to the psychic energy and astrology, come through. The link is directly below. We can channel the energy for you and have a look and try to help you move through, especially this next eclipse. Stay tuned for such. I'm feeling that you're looking at the circumstance with the Three of Wands, almost like you're wanting, you thought something was going to be totally different. You're reaching for success, but you kind of feel that there's been all these obstacles, things haven't been going correctly. Every time you get 10 steps forward, you're going 20 steps back. And this level of frustration with uncertainty, shifts and change is really frustrating you. And I do feel psychologically, some of you could be saying to yourself, this is never going to work. I've got to pull the pin. Some of you, that might be very relevant. But again, that is going to be something that you directly have assessed post-eclipse in Scorpio. And especially to have that new beginning, having faith that whatever choice you're going to make is going to be the correct one for you. I do feel something's going to move very quickly, though. For some of you, the message I was getting is there's maybe money coming in, but a lot of work and a lot of stress that goes with that. So when we look at the value system, it's like, what's that term we use? Is the grind worth the buck? Is it really worth the slogging? And I feel we could particularly become a little bit more unmotivated if something isn't our true calling. And I do directly feel you are learning a lot. You're looking at what your likes and dislikes are. I do feel universe is saying to us, we do have the tools in the bag. Do we have to go back to square one? Not necessarily. Pluto asks us to take out what's not working to get the best out of a situation. So it's really learning to be resourceful with something and tweaking it to make it the best. Now, for some of you, this could be a home-based business. For others of you, again, it could directly be that you have two positions or two options. I feel ultimately there is going to be success, but that you feel concerned, you feel this nagging frequency, and there's a high benchmark of expectations. Maybe there's a lot at stake at the moment. So you're kind of saying to yourself, I can't really risk not getting this right. The crazy thing is, even if you do have social responsibilities, kids, the house, the mortgage, it's also there are those things that are completely out of our control that we do need to directly understand and accept to a degree. So try to not be so hard on yourself, but also know this is sort of the hard season, so to speak. And the preparation and the things that you're addressing right now are setting you up for success in 2023. If you need coaching, you can come through and I can give you a hand. Now, you can have a lot of expenses. You may get to the point, especially within your chakras, that you want to eat a lot, that you're getting anxious moving into this next moon phase with the total lunar eclipse. You are having the star card here. You can have lady luck on your side, I particularly do feel. But some of you are trying to meditate upon that. How do I usher it in? How do I move into manifestation? And I feel the key to it is, not holding on so tight. I feel when we hold on, it's almost we miss those opportunities because we don't see the potential, because we're not trusting the potential and we're living in lack mentality. You could have a lucky break. Some of you could offer a job of a lifetime. Some of you also could be given something. It's almost like, you move into disillusionment and then suddenly it's like all your ducks move into a row because you physically felt that it wasn't possible. I do overall see that you're wanting to live a lot better than you currently have. Some of you could be having a shift of home. Some of you also could be having family getting involved and giving you a hand. For some reason, some of you, I do feel you particularly could fall pregnant. So FYI, be careful. I also feel your children could come towards you and say, hey, by the way, we're pregnant. For some. I do feel with the start, it's like you're going through a hard time, but you see the potential. It's like, okay, I've got to knuckle down. I need to be resourceful. And I do think that shifts. And I think by mid-month, it can start shifting. And whatever decision you're making, it's actually going to take you to your success. But you do need to be careful of your mindset, because what I am seeing from the hidden is that conditioning from a psychological point of view is actually the thing that's hindering you. So it can be your emotions. It can be, those storylines that we tell ourselves. I'm never going to be successful. I'm never going to be attractive. And it's those things really, doing that journaling, getting those things out so they're not bogging you down and holding you back. I do feel spiritually that freak out energy that you have can be moving into the next eclipse. So, play it safe. Don't go to extremes. Avoid pacifiers, avoid alcohol, smoking, or reduce such if possible, because what you will find is that agitation and nervousness can peak. You guys are sun. You like it bright. It goes dark. You freak out, okay? It's natural. It's part of a cycle we're moving through, but it also can have this very, very bright new beginning for us if we just hold on, okay? I'm actually noticing the snake serpent. It's like things from the past actually coming back and balancing out. Those of you running home-based businesses, I feel they're going to shift. Those of you dealing with the devil in the detail, it's almost like you're going to tweak something, and I feel your wounds will turn into alchemy if you realize you have faced them with courage and they won't directly define you. And I really feel at the moment with this, it's very the hidden realm is going to help you. So please dig deep, sit with your intuition, start forming a relationship with your intuition, and stop telling yourself those negative stories. Come through, have a look at the update for Mars retrograde, where it directly affects your zodiac sign. It is open to the public. And very separately, if you do want to get this tarot deck, yet again, I'll place it back up on the screen. We will be having mid-month. So if you do feel this tribe vibes, come through and join us for the mid-month. Take care, beautifuls, and I'll see you for the twin flame updates.